What's up, guys, and welcome back to Trap House Garage. We're in the garage pretty late tonight. Sorry for the lack of videos. Hasn't really been too much going on, but I kind of made the decision that, ever since putting the LS into my Mustang, I've never really been happy with having front exit exhaust. As I said before, I am turning it back into more of like a cruiser, just something I can enjoy with my family. And it's really loud, obviously, even with those little BS glass packs that I put on the end of the pipes. It's still kind of obnoxiously loud and it doesn't sound good at all. So I kind of made the decision that I'm going to try to run it out the back. I have small block Ford shorty headers that were on my 408 and stuff that were flipped around, and I built my entire hot side for the turbo setup out of them. So I guess what I'm going to do is chop them up and make them work on the LS. A lot of guys have done it before. You cut the flanges off, weld LS flanges on them, and the spacing and everything actually works right. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna tear all the exhaust off, take the manifolds off and stuff like that, and start fitting. I guess see if they will even clear. But yes, I'm gonna tear that stuff out and fit the small block Ford headers and see if it'll even work, and we'll go from there. So give me a second here and we'll be right back. Alright, so like I said, I had to take the manifolds off, obviously. Took them both out real quick. Did start getting some of the work done on the small block Ford headers. I went ahead and cut the flanges off already. And yeah, well, here they are. Like I said, they are Ford Motorsport shorty headers that were chopped up and spun around and built into a turbo setup. I see a little spider crawling right here. Yeah. But anyways, so I went ahead and cut the flanges off. I did chop both, obviously this one off right here and this one down here. And they do actually clear. I'm going to have to run, I think, a little longer on each side. Yet I'm going to have to weld more onto them to bring them down under the car a little further. And then I think what I'm going to do is I have two pieces of whatever degree you want to call this that I think will work kind of like that. Run straight down and then out the back here and under the car. And I'm going to weld the old V-band flanges onto that then to make, obviously, a disconnect there. I don't want it solid all the way out the back of the car because that's stupid. So I'm going to put the V-bands on it, and that way I can disconnect it to take things apart in the future. Then after that, I'm probably going to run it, I'm assuming, to probably close to the rear axle and run some kind of fairly quiet muffler on it and just dump them right at the axle. This car, well, a long time ago now, it did have Flowmaster 40s on it that were all the way out the back with the original GT tailpipes. I think I do still have both of those, but I don't really want to fight with trying to get it up over the axle. I do have the pieces. Matter of fact, there's one right here, I think, that do go up over the axle. But I'd rather not mess with that because it's kind of a pain. And removing them without a lift is almost impossible because of them going up over the axle. You got to bend them down really far. So I think I'm just going to dump it at the rear axle. Probably put a new set of Flowmaster 40s, something cheap, something that'll make it pretty quiet and not obnoxious. I did have to reroute my transmission lines. Let me crawl under here because they were, I don't know how well, you can see them right there. They were routed straight across here and into the K-member right here, and then up front to the cooler. Since it was a turbo car, I didn't have to worry about it being close to the exhaust, so it didn't really matter how they were routed. Well, now that I want to run it back, I knew this side was going to be an issue because of how they were. And it pretty much laid, or the exhaust pretty much laid right on top of them. And obviously I can't do that with using rubber lines, which I'm sure most people are going to tell me, not to run rubber trans lines. But that's okay. So what I did now, it's going to be hard to tell, but the where my starter wire runs through under the motor mount, between the engine and the motor mount right there, I fed the transmission lines through there also to kind of tuck them under the starter so the exhaust would clear, and then they come up here into this little cooler here. So it should work. It'll be at least a couple inches away from the exhaust, and the exhaust obviously is going to be wrapped, especially for sure on this side, at least at that point, just to be sure that I don't have any issues with, melting a trans line and catching the car on fire, because I'd prefer, obviously, that not to happen. But I do need to, since this was kind of spur of the moment, I haven't ordered anything yet. I do need to order 202 bungs, and, well, yeah, I'm going to order 202 bungs. I need to order the LS flanges, so I'm going to order them here shortly. Hopefully have them in a couple days from Summit. Get those welded on, and should be good to go. But I'd like to get everything I can done tonight as far as getting the extensions down a little further so they're under the car, cut where I need, and then add the little elbow piece so they shoot out the back. That way I can get the V-bands welded on them, and then get, I've got a bunch of random pipe laying around, so I'll probably neck it down to, I don't know if I'll be able to run full 3-inch. I might neck it down to 2.5 out the back. So this is 3-inch. It'll go 3-inch into a V-band to another 3-inch V-band, and then I might neck it down there to 2.5 to clear the trans cross member and everything, so it doesn't drag on speed bumps and literally everything, because it's going to be low. So I should be able to get the extension pieces done tonight, hopefully, the elbows, and the V-bands welded onto this side. And that's probably about all I'll be able to do, because it is late, and the rest of my exhaust is out back of the shop, and I don't feel like walking out back there in the dark and trying to find pipe. And plus I need them mocked up on the engine before I can really make the mid pipes. Otherwise, I mean, it's about impossible to do. I mean, I have to have something holding the exhaust up here to see where I need the mid pipes to go. So I'll have to wait till the flanges come in, and like I said, I'll just burn them on here real quick. Shouldn't be hard. The old small block Ford flanges are right there. Thank God for a bandsaw. Made it pretty easy and got them straight, obviously, rather than trying to use a die grinder or a sawzall or anything like that. And like I said, we'll pull one of these header gaskets from the LS. And as you can see, the spacing is pretty spot on. So it should work. I've seen other guys, read about it on the forums and stuff. Dudes that have done LS swaps say that they've done it too, and that it works. So I guess we'll find out. I mean, I'll make it work one way or another, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to get back to work on these, see what else I can't get done here, and we'll be back with an update shortly. And yeah, we'll see what we can get done. Alright, so I didn't get very much more done tonight. I did get another extension added on here. Of course, using, these are going to look very pretty using my leftover parts and pieces, pretty much what this whole car is built on. But yeah, so that's all I got done because I did run out of 3-inch pipe in here. Like I said, there's more out back, but with it being late and dark, I don't really feel like going out there and trying to look through all the leftover exhaust and stuff that I have. So this is going to be a 2-part video. Yeah, so this is going to be a 2-part video, and I guess this is probably where I'll end part 1 since there's nothing else I can really do right now. I am going to go ahead and get the flanges and the O2 bungs ordered like I did say. I just test fit both of them again. I think the one is now long enough, but I can't. I thought I could get the V-band welded on that to finish it off tonight, but I really can't do that because I have to be able to bolt it on and crawl under the car to get the length right, I guess you could say, to make sure it's not too low. I don't want to, try to hold it and just say, oh yeah, it needs a couple more inches and just weld it all up and then get under the car and it's almost touching the ground or, something like that. I really have to have them bolted on there and crawl under it and see to judge how low I'm going to need them to finish it off. But yeah, there's not much more to do. Weld another little bit on one, put the V-bands on them, and then I can pretty much start doing the mid-pipe after I get the flanges and get those welded on. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I got a bunch of it knocked out, so wish I could do more, but I am getting tired. Like I said, it is late. So I guess I'm going to call it quits for the night, get this stuff ordered, and get back to it whenever that decides to show up. Hopefully it doesn't take real long. Some it is normally pretty quick, a couple days. But yeah, like I said, this is going to be part 1. I guess you'll have to wait around for part 2 to see it finished, at least the headers finished. Hopefully all of it. I haven't really decided if I'm going to just maybe do the headers and then drive it to an exhaust shop and have them finish it out the back the way I want it. That way I'm not under the car and trying to fight it around everything. Hopefully it'll just be 2 straight shots. If it is, I'll probably just buy the pipe and I'll buy it if I don't already have it, but there's a good chance that I do have enough that I can do both sides. But if it's just a straight shot, because I'm not going to run any kind of X pipe or anything like that, I do have an old spare H pipe, but I don't have enough V-bands to do the back side of the H pipe then, so I'm probably not going to mess with it. I'll probably just run true duals, just straight pipes, and then like I said, into a really quiet muffler. That way I can get the car to sound good, being it'll have a muffler on it and also quiet, or at least quieter. I mean, I don't want it, super, super quiet, but just want it to sound good and not blow your eardrums out when you're trying to drive the thing. I did mess up and, of course, ripped a plug wire in half, so I'll have to buy a set of plug wires, but that's not any big deal. Or one of my buddies might have just a single stock LS plug wire laying around. God, I'm filthy. But, yeah. So, hopefully get that stuff in the mail, get part 2 done, and get it out to you guys as quickly as possible. Then I will be doing a tablet dash install. I don't know if I ever showed, but I was running a scan gauge. Just a little monitor to monitor like oil pressure, coolant temp, all that. And I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for a speedometer. I was going to throw my GPS in it and just use that for like navigation and a speedometer and stuff. But now I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to use the tablet that I showed in a previous video that's just been laying around and do one of the apps like Torque Pro or something and do a tablet dash. And that way it'll show me speed and it'll actually be like gauges and stuff in real big. So I'll probably be doing that also, so I'll make a video of that, which I'm sure it's super simple. I've done it in other vehicles. But yeah, gonna end the video off there, I guess. Go get some sleep, get this stuff ordered, and then get some sleep, hopefully. Um, but yeah, that'll be it. We'll see you guys on the next one. Please comment, like, subscribe, share with all your friends, and